so strong. Throw your hands in the air, lift your head up high. You know you've got to sing along. Don't you know?
Made it out of disbelief. Candles flying up, no fear, just greed. I done waited weeks on weeks. Feel the bull run coming, bears dodge the stream. Try to get them on my team. Moon boys too busy buying XRP. No face, no KYC. VPN locked in, out of state IP. Patreon made something out of nothing. Ain't got a MetaMask, need to go and quit stunting. C phrase, only code to the fortune. Better play a card, tell them Reddit boys chumping. Black Swan, Red Swan, it's nothing. Set the limit, orders getting out before the flood hit. Retail got me knowing when the fun is. Made a bank run just to get my bags pumping. Real life, not talking dumb money. I bet the game stop when the market starts pumping. I've been here since the rain, since the flooding. FOMO kicking in, heard it happens like something. Low caps got me living like Archie. Fly to Dubai, first class, off flights please. 5x, 10x, unlikely. 100 on my mind, no telling where it might lead. Crypto, it's been on the rise. Couple million off of me, no, it's not that time. Crazy how they still deny. Last time I seen this was 2009. Oh, well, it catch you by surprise. Getting out before they sell, all a part of the ride. With my advice, you'll do just fine. Do your own research and a thing when I rhyme.
The crypto market continues to head up, and it's heading up at a very, very fast rate. Bitcoin is above 100K, Ethereum is above $2,000, and the altcoins I'm in are absolutely pumping right now. If we go and take a look at the top 100, two of my recent buys or just buy alerts or picks of this cycle are in the top gainers. Virtuals, one of my recent buy alerts, up about 40% today. We are up over 3x on virtuals, almost a 4x on that position in just a month since the buy alert in the VIP. Virtuals is exploding in the AI sector, and SUI continuing to explode as well. This is a top 10 coin. It's up 20% today. That's how you know that you are in the midst of a massive rally. You could say an alt season, whatever you want to call it, when a coin in the top 10 is up as much as 20%. Okay, and if you go and look at SUI, if you go and look at Ethereum, that is also up a lot today as well. Okay, Ethereum's up 13.3%. SUI, I guess if you take away stables, it's a top 10 coin. Up 20% today. And, since my lowest buy alert on SUI, I think this is like over a 5x now. Okay. My average on SUI is $1. That's my average. My lowest buy was way lower than that, but my average is around $1. So up almost 4 times on SUI. Okay. If you would have put $10,000 into SUI, when I did at the lowest, you probably have about 50K right now. Okay, so markets are pumping, things are doing very well, and I'm going to be a bit of a realist today, as usual. I'm not going to go and tell you all this is the time to go and buy, this is the time to FOMO in. This is definitely the beginning of a massive run, okay, in my view. When we look at Bitcoin dominance, it's starting to dip down. I think the trend of Bitcoin dominance going up only is starting to break, and we're going to start to see it drop to the downside. Okay. Now, how much of a drop that will be, we'll have to wait and see. I've said it on the previous live stream. I don't think we're getting a drop of 50%, 40%, or anything like that. But even if we just get, a 10 or 20% drawdown on Bitcoin dominance, that is going to be massive, massive for the altcoins. So that is what I'm looking at right now, is potentially a drop on Bitcoin dominance because risk is starting to come back into the market. But in the short term, don't be surprised if we get a little pullback at some point. there's pretty big resistance on Bitcoin around 102 to 103K. So don't be surprised if we get a little rejection from that resistance and we come back down a little bit, maybe to test the mid 90s or something like that. Okay, don't be surprised. That's all I'm going to say. Things can't go up only. They will have retracements along the way. Even along the way of a bull run, you will still have retracements. Okay, even in a massive parabolic bull run, you still have dips. So I'm not FOMOing right now. I'm not buying right now. But I do think there will be one last potential opportunity to buy. One last little dip on Bitcoin, maybe to, 92K, 94K, 96K, something like that. Okay. And that'll be your last chance to load up on your altcoin bags before the true final takeoff. Okay. So if you are interested in what I am buying, if you are interested in the coins I'll be stacking on that final last chance, then get on over to the VIP. People are joining this group right now in huge numbers. The demand is crazy. And obviously with the added demand, I will be forced to increase the prices at some point to keep up with it. So highly recommend getting in the group. We were in a voice chat last night during the whole FOMC speech from Jerome Powell. And we were in the group call for a good number of hours talking about the markets. And you don't want to miss out on those chats and the buy alerts in general. Okay, it's the place to be. So these are my top 7 altcoins right now. Top 7 altcoins in terms of highest conviction, not in terms of X's or anything like that. This is just purely in terms of highest conviction. Another one which is pumping a lot today is Aerodrome. So I mentioned virtuals. That one's up 38%. Aerodrome, I was giving many buy alerts out on this one down in the dumps. Okay, down in the dumps when everyone was panicking. Everyone was saying, sell your Aerodrome. I was giving a lot of buy alerts in this region. Okay, and it's at 72 cents now, beginning that next leg up. I went and put a video out on Aerodrome literally couple weeks ago, was it? 9 days ago? 9 days ago and 3 weeks ago. So let's see where it was literally on this public video just for reference. So it was at 4.4 on this video, 0.44. It's at 7.2 now. So not quite a 2x, but it's pumping, guys. Like the market is heading up and we have the very best picks on this channel. I've got complete conviction in these picks. And time again, whenever Bitcoin goes up, we outperform the markets. We have the best picks. Okay. It's not a coincidence. Every time Bitcoin pumps, SUI is up by factors higher. Okay. A 4% pump on Bitcoin, just so you know, is the equivalent of a 20% pump on SUI. That's how things are going in this market. And we noticed SUI before it even started this massive run, right? Because we saw the quality in the project, we saw the backers, and we saw it as a massively undervalued gem all the way down at 76 cents. Okay, now that's looking like a steal. That's looking like a crazy buy when you look back at those prices. So don't be fading the picks, guys. We're in the clear winners, and I expect that to remain for the rest of this cycle. But as I say, I wouldn't be FOMOing in right now. Okay, I haven't bought anything today. I didn't buy anything yesterday. So my stance is, if Bitcoin's above 100K, you don't really want to be buying too heavily into altcoins or into crypto in general. Okay, it's kind of like a value thing for me. When we're below 100K, it's a buyer's market. When we're above 100K, it's not necessarily a seller's market. I'm not telling you to sell, but it's kind of at the point of indifference where I wouldn't be in a rush to buy. And I'm personally not buying, like I said. I will start loading up again if we get another little dip. Now, when I say little dip, I'm not talking about back into the 80s or anything like that. I'm just talking about a minor retracement, a healthy retracement. It's really funny. When the market starts pumping, if you talk about retracements, people think you're crazy. Okay, people think you're crazy. They say, no, we're not retracing. We're in a bull run. Don't fade it. No, I'm talking about a minor retracement. This happens in the biggest bull runs in the world, right? Gold has been in a massive bull run. It just had a retracement. I caught that retracement in a short position and made a lot of money. So you can still, you still could have one last opportunity to buy alts with Bitcoin below 100K, in my opinion. I don't think we're never going to see the 90s again. I think we will see another little opportunity, but you better take your chances when that opportunity comes, because it's not going to keep giving you opportunities left, right, and center. Eventually, the train's going to completely leave the station, and that'll be that until the bear market. Okay? That'll be that until the bear market. And by that point, you want to be sold, right? Because in the bear market, we're going to see much lower prices than 90K. I can assure you that. So BTC looking good above 100K. Ethereum looking good above 2K. But do not be surprised if we get a little dump, maybe over the weekend, right? Maybe tomorrow. Because we just had a massive run up. It's only normal. Turbo has been the best meme this cycle. It's been a decent one. I wouldn't say the best. Sui looking like $4.20 before a retrace this weekend. Obviously, it would go to 420, right? Because that's what crypto does. It likes these funny numbers. 420 on Sui. I'll take that. You know, I'm kind of rational when it comes to Sui, right? I understand it's the best project out there in terms of this cycle. But it's not going to go up only. It will have little dumps along the way, like it did, by the way, on its first run. On the first run for Sui, I don't know if you guys remember, but it would pump really, really hard. And then it would have like a 20% dump or so. And then it would continue pumping. And then another 20% dump. And then it would continue pumping. And then another 20% dump. And that's what it did. Okay, you can see them here. 30% drawdown there. 20% drawdown there. 20% drawdown there. So it had multiple 20 to 30% drawdowns along the way. I'm with you. I think Sui could maybe get to $4, maybe $4.20, but I'd be saying like $4, something like that. And then we have a little dump, okay? And that's your last opportunity when it does that. That's your last opportunity when it does that. You can't keep hoping for new opportunities, guys. When they come, you've got to take them. And when we get another opportunity with the altcoins, I will be stacking because I probably have like 2% that I want to deploy, and then I'm not deploying anymore. I'm all in right now. Okay, I've got a bit of cash on the side, but that's not meant for crypto. That's going to be for other purchases down the line. But I have about 2% that I want to add into the market. And I want to add it to mid caps and low caps. I'm not going to buy any more Sui. Even if it dips 20%, I'd be drastically increasing my average if I was buying it. So I'm not going to buy any more Sui. I'm not buying any more Casper. I'm not buying any more Tau. All of those coins I'm up a ton on. I have no intention of increasing my average. No intention. My average for Casper, about 4 cents. I'm up over 2x on that. Average on Sui, $1. I'm up around 3, just under 4x on Sui. And Tau, I think my average is like 250 or something like that. Okay, got no intention on increasing my average price on any of those. What I do have an intention on is to stack the mid caps and the low caps. And that's where this list comes in. Okay. This is my comprehensive list currently of cryptos. And I've been stacking in the last few weeks. I bought a brand new mid cap, which the VIPs have access to. I think that one can pull a 7 to 15x. And I also dropped a microcap, a tiny microcap coin with massive potential. It is a risky one, but got massive potential. I dropped that one, and that one for me has a 7 to 50x potential ROI. So I have been stacking some unknown coins, some microcaps, some midcaps, and I'll continue to do that in this market because there are still some nice opportunities with quality low caps, quality mid caps. So I'll be buying coins in that market cap range. I'm kind of happy with my blue chips. I don't need to buy any more blue chips. I'm done. And that's a great feeling. It's a great feeling to just sit back and say, yep, I've stacked my blue chips now. The remaining capital I'm going to deploy, it's just for fun. It's just for low caps and mid caps and risky coins that could make me a 20x, a 50x, 100x, or they could just go to zero, right? Because that's the name of the game when it comes to the low caps. They're very risky. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the coming weeks, is deploying some cash into some of the lower caps. And if you're a VIP member, stay tuned. Make sure you're checking those buy alert channels in the Discord, okay? The buy and sell alert section here in the Discord. Make sure you stay in tune with that, because I think this is going to be a market for low caps pretty soon. The low caps still haven't bounced too heavily yet, but I think this is going to be a market for low caps because the risk is going to come back on. We're already starting to see that. The risk appetite is coming back. And when the risk appetite comes back, Bitcoin dominance drops, microcaps start pumping. So that's what I'm anticipating as the next move in the markets. And can't wait to capitalize on it. Smash up the likes, everyone, for Archie and the great alpha he brings. Thank you, Bren. Welcome to the stream, man. Tibber, that's one that the VIPs got in really early. Shout out to Bren. I didn't pick any of that up, but I don't think it's on CoinMarketCap, right? The VIPs are printing on it, I'm pretty sure. So Bren can tell you more about it. But yeah, it's a Virtuals ecosystem play. I don't have any of the Virtuals ecosystem plays. I have Virtuals itself. I'm almost up 4x on it. So, you know, I'm just going to hold that. Maybe Virtuals will end up being a really, really good buy alert. I mean, it already is almost up 4x, but all Virtuals needs to do is like another 5x, and yeah, I'm going to be up 20x on it. So will the VIPs. So that's 10K going to 200K. You can't complain with that. No one can complain with that, right? Archie's call on Sui was the call of the cycle. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And you're not wrong. I mean, you know, it's not just the fact that I bought Sui. You know, anyone can buy a coin and the price go up. It's the fact I went in with conviction. That's the thing. And I made it my biggest holding. That's what makes it a good call, right? I could buy anything and get a 5x or a 10x. I've made 50 to 100x's this cycle, but it's been tiny coins where I just put 1% in, it pumps, great, but I only allocated 1%. It's when you go in and you allocate 20% into a coin or 15%, and then it goes and does really good returns and outperforms the whole market, including Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin has outperformed basically all the altcoins in the last 6 months. 6 to 12 months, but Sui's outperformed Bitcoin. So Sui really is in the upper echelons of crypto performance in the last 6 to 12 months. Yeah, I've done about 50 videos on it. It's the conviction, right? It's the conviction that makes it a good call, not the fact that it's done a 4x or 5x or whatever. It's the conviction with that. If I only allocated 1% to Sui and it did a 5x, it's not the best call, right? But when your whole portfolio goes up 5x because you made it your biggest coin, then it's a big deal. So 2024, 2025 for me was Sui. 2023 to 2024 was Casper. So I clearly picked the winner. Each year, I pick the winning layer one. I've got a bit of a track record now with that. Okay, I picked Casper up at 3 cents. It ran up to 20. I cashed out around 17, some profits. I still hold it, but I cashed out some profits around 17, 16, 15, whatever it was. And this year and last year, it's been Sui for me. So the first part of the bull run, it was Casper. Second part of the bull run, it was Sui. And I think this next leg up is going to be both of them. The next leg up, right? Because look at that, right? In a crypto bull run, everything pumps. So Sui will pump, Casper will pump, Tau will pump, everything will pump in the final blow off top stage. And that's why I never got rid of my Casper, because I still believe fundamentally, like when you look at the technology side, it is the best coin from a tech point of view. And when we're going into that stage where everything's going to pump, I'd be kind of a fool to sell all my Casper. So yeah, Casper all the way. Absolutely, man. Great coin. My Sui is going up, up, up. Absolutely, man. That's how it feels to be in Sui. I've been harping on about it for many months now, but hopefully you guys are starting to realize the potential. It's almost at its all-time highs, guys. 26% away. Sui could form a new all-time high in the next week, potentially. TTV, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Sui to 1K. It's like the XRP, it's a $600 or whatever it is called. But yeah, this is just the name of the game, guys. This is the story of this cycle. Whenever Bitcoin's up 2%, Sui's up 10%. When Bitcoin's up 4%, Sui's up 20%. Whatever Bitcoin does, Sui does 4 to 5x of, basically. Yeah, Ondo's going to move as well, I think. Brett's pumping. Shout out to everyone holding Brett. I know a lot of the VIPs are in Brett. Yeah, Sui's going to be the cycle's soul. I've been saying that for over a year. Archie, if Bitcoin dominance hits or gets close to 70%, do you foresee alt season bigger than 2021, considering it will drop 20 to 25%? Well, in 2021, I think dominance dropped like 40% or so. So it wouldn't technically be as big on a proportionate level. So in terms of proportionality, no. In terms of actual numeric market cap numbers, potentially it will be bigger, right? But it will be bigger. It already has been. So I don't fully understand your question. If you're talking about the actual proportional move, then no, because 20% is less than 40%. But if you're talking about money pouring into altcoins, well, we've already seen that form a new high compared to last cycle, right? Total 3 already made a new high. So technically, this cycle's already been bigger than last cycle for altcoins. Now, it was only by 2%, which technically isn't even inflation adjusted, but let's just go with it, right? This cycle has been bigger than last cycle, marginally for altcoins. For Bitcoin, it's been massively bigger, 109 compared to 69K. Why is there no option for Super Chat? Because my channel is demonetized. If anyone here works at YouTube or Google, please reach out to me. You demonetized my channel for a long time, and I can't get monetized. So, really weird. But that's why you can't send Super Chats. If you do want to support the channel, then the best place to be is the VIP. Okay, VIP group linked in the description. You can ask me any questions over in there. I'm in the Discord probably 12 to 14 hours a day. Voice chats, I'm in sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day talking to the members. VIP live streams. There's loads of opportunities to have your questions answered in the VIP. So I strongly recommend that as the option if you want to reach out to me. Hey, Archie, with BTC somewhat sticking to the M2 global money supply like glue, and the fact historically BTC has a blow-off top above the M2, would you expect a higher top for Bitcoin or still 120-ish? I still stand by the 120-ish claim so long as we don't break out of that 8-year resistance line on Bitcoin. Okay, I want to be really, really clear about this. Bitcoin has a massive long-term trend line stemming all the way back to 2017, which has basically been your point of reference for predicting every single top on Bitcoin. If you predicted the 2017 top, it would have been on the trend line. The two 2021 tops, both on the trend line. The two 2024 and 2025 tops, both on the trend line. So in order for me to believe we're going to break out of this trend line and go to 150K or 200, you need to give me a clear reason why this 8-year resistance line is going to break. I am still inclined to believe that we will top out around this resistance line. Okay, whether that's a slight deviation above with a wick to like 120, or whether that's literally stopping out on the trend line at 115, that's where I believe we potentially top out. Now, I want to give a very big disclaimer. If we were to close the week above that trend line, then it's game on, basically. Anything can happen at that point because we broke the resistance. We would officially be in price discovery. Okay, we would officially be in price discovery. There'd really be nothing stopping us going to 150 or 200. The only things really you could say you could use to predict prices would be fib levels. And there is a fib level around 131K. So maybe that could be a top. 167K, that's really optimistic. I don't think that will happen. But if it did, it's in line with a fib level. So it's really a question of, it becomes very difficult to predict the top if we get above this massive resistance line. I think we'll potentially reject around it. Again, no one knows for certain. It's crypto. But if we were to break above this, you'd be looking at maybe 131 to 170K as a top, which is a lot higher, obviously, than 120. But for the time being, I stand by that. I think we're going to get quite a lot of macroeconomic weakness in the back end of the year. Everyone is really bullish right now with the macro, but there's still a lot of bearish things in my view. Okay, we just had a trade deal announcement with the UK. But what a lot of people are failing to mention is the fact that the 10% tariff, the blanket tariff, is going to remain on the UK. And Trump explicitly said that with other countries they do trade deals with, the blanket tariff will be higher than 10%. And that will be there to stay. So the UK is obviously one of the closest allies to the US. And they've gone and given the UK, even with a trade deal, a 10% tariff. Even with a trade deal. So what are they going to give to the EU? If there's a trade deal with the EU, are the EU going to have 20% tariffs? 30% tariffs? What's the percentage going to be with the EU? If they get a trade deal with China, that's probably years down the line. But if they did, what's the tariff percentage going to be on China? 50%? 30%? So the point is, tariffs are here to stay on every country. Even the closest allies to the US, tariffs are here to stay. That 10% tariff on the UK is not going, despite them reaching a trade deal. So what that shows is that the president's goal is not short-term with tariffs. They're not merely a negotiation tactic. That might be part of it, but they are also a revenue generator, and they are also something that's here to stay. So the question is, if you've got 10 to 50% tariffs on the whole world for the rest of the year, is that going to leak into the hard data and potentially cause a massive drawdown in the fall or in the summer, the late summer? So that's the question, okay? So yeah, these ceremonies and trade deals where they all stand up and say, oh, aren't you great, President? Isn't this amazing? We're doing great for the world. It's all great showmanship and it's all great salesman stuff. And it pumps the markets. It's great. But there could be weaknesses with the data that happens in the back end of the year with worsening labor markets and potentially worsening earnings with some of the big companies. And that's kind of what fears me And that's kind of why I don't think we could run all the way until the end of the year. It's not impossible, but for me, there's a good chance that we top out prematurely to that October deadline that everyone's pointing to that's in line with the 4-year cycle. So that's my view. Let me know yours in the comments. What do you think? Do you think we run all the way until October and go to 200K? Or do you think maybe we top out in, July, August, around 115 to 130? What are you thinking, guys? Let me know. Yeah, 92K is about an 8% drop. It's nothing, right? It could happen in 2 days, 3 days. Second Tim, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Always good to see you. War equals bullish for Bitcoin. Yeah, the India-Pakistan stuff, the market doesn't care about that. Like, Bitcoin doesn't give a crap about that. I'm sorry. It doesn't care. Like, you've got India and Pakistan potentially going to a war and Bitcoin's pumping. It doesn't care. Like, it's just a regional spat. You know, I don't think it's going to affect Bitcoin too much. I mean, it hasn't affected Bitcoin despite it happening. So the proof is already in the pudding. Look, everyone will, whenever a little regional conflict breaks out, everyone says, oh, they're going to use nukes, right? India and Pakistan, they're nuclear powers. They're going to use nukes. And everyone just blows it out of proportion. And, a few weeks go by and then it calms down and everyone kind of forgets about it. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to affect markets too much, at least for Bitcoin. Maybe it'll affect some commodity markets that it directly affects. But, I mean, what commodities are in India and Pakistan, really? It's not like as far as I'm aware, it's not like a major oil region or anything like that, right? The reason why the whole Iran thing affects markets is that part of the world has a lot of oil, right? The reason why Russia-Ukraine affects markets is a lot of the minerals and things like that in that region, right? And Russia was a massive contributor to energy, right, in Europe. Russian energy fueled a lot of Europe. So when that whole conflict happened, it obviously affected energy prices. I'm not denying the power, the size of India. They've got a very big economy and a very big population, but I don't think it's going to affect Bitcoin if that escalates. I just don't. But it's good to monitor anyway, right? It's important to monitor these things. I'm constantly monitoring the macro economy side. I'm constantly monitoring the geopolitical side. And we're discussing these things on a daily basis in the VIP group anyway. So, I'm very in tune with all of this. But I don't think it's going to impact Bitcoin. How high can Arrow go? I recommend watching my Aerodrome video and I explain it. Okay, I give a bull case, a bear case, and a base case. But I think it's going to make a new all-time high. That's all I'm going to say, right? I think it will make a new all-time high. Anywhere in the region of like a 5 to a 15x from here. You got to bear in mind as well, a lot of these price predictions I did a couple weeks ago, and since then, a lot of these coins have gone up 20 to 50%. So, what was a 10x a few weeks ago is now maybe only a 7x, which is crazy, but that's how quick crypto moves. Hey, Archie, I've got ETH and 10K ADA. I'm thinking of swapping them for something with better potential. Should I consider those last 3 coins from the Byla? Also, I'm a VIP member. Shout out to you for being a VIP. The The microcap VIP buy alert is a risky one. It's got potential to do crazy X's, but it's a risky one. So it doesn't make sense to swap Ethereum to it, okay, because you're drastically increasing your risk profile. The sensible swap from Ethereum and ADA for me would be something like Ondo, something like Casper, something like Tau, something like Render, something like Say. They would be the ones I'd consider swapping it to. But it depends on what you want, right? It depends on your X's that you're happy with. If you're happy with a 2 to 3x, then just hold Ethereum. But if you're not happy with a 2 to 3x, then you probably want to be looking at coins like Ondo, Casper, Tau, things like that. And if you want something in between those, you've got Sui. Sui remains for me the very best 3 to 7x play in crypto. It's not going to do you a 10x, but it could really do a solid 3 to 7x. Now, I wouldn't buy Sui here. I'd wait for a little dip, but yeah, I'm not really too bullish on Cardano. I think it can do okay. I held Cardano last cycle. I made a ton of money on Cardano last cycle. It was one of the biggest gainers for me. But yeah, I wouldn't hold it. I wouldn't hold it this bull run. There's just better options out there with way more momentum. And in crypto, momentum's everything. You know, you got to pick up on these little phrases, you know, that I pull out every single stream now. How many times do I say in the streams, momentum is everything in crypto? You've got to have these phrases constantly in your head, because when a coin fundamentally loses its momentum, it never comes back, or it really struggles to come back. And that's kind of what has happened to a lot of these dinosaur coins. Carlos says, buying lifetime access once we sell. That's amazing, man. That's a great choice. You know, you cash out big profits on the VIP and then you join the lifetime. So you do it all over again next cycle. Great stuff. I already made back what I paid to join the VIP. Great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, people definitely need to join. I agree, Bren. You know, the problem is people don't join until the markets pump. So even now, you know, they're seeing Bitcoin 101. They're going to be like, maybe should I join? Should I not? And then when we'll see Bitcoin at 110 and it officially forms a new all-time high, the floodgates will open. Everyone will join. By that price, by that time, the price will be higher because of the demand. I'll have to increase the price. So this is a really good option to get in. As you've literally heard in the live stream, you know, there's tons of people recommending it. Tons of people saying they've already paid off the membership. People have joined for lifetime. They paid off the membership after like a couple days. You know, let's say you bought lifetime membership access a few weeks ago. You put 1K into virtuals. You've literally made like almost 4K on virtuals, right? In like a month. So you've paid off lifetime times 2, in fact. No, Say doesn't follow Sui. They're completely different projects. Say is an EVM compatible layer 1 that focuses on DeFi. Sui is a move-based layer 1 that has a very broad focus area. So I'm not convinced that Say follows Sui in any way. Not price related or not even fundamentally. I don't think they're similar. Sui to $30 by September. Look, if you think we're having a run all the way until September, then yeah, Sui can hit $30. If that's what you think. But I don't know if we've got the legs to run that long. I don't think time is on our side. I think we're in a very explosive move here, and we could potentially see the top in the next few months. That's what I think. Best decision I made in crypto was joining your VIP. Thank you, Archie, for helping us win in crypto. Thank you, Sway. Shout out to you, man. Can I have a discount on your VIP, please? I've been watching your channel for like 1.5 years now. I finally have the money. Thanks for your hard work, mate. Appreciate you being a long-time viewer on the channel. If you want a discount, I could give you a discount if you want to pay in crypto. So drop me an email, but that would be for like a 3-month minimum membership. But drop me an email. Can Arrow hit $15? Optimistic? That's very optimistic, man. Got to be realistic. Got to be realistic. I'd say $5.60 is more realistic. To $7. Like it's more reasonable than 15. You know, my bull case wouldn't even be $10. So 15 is like way over a bull case for me. That trend line that you have calling each of the tops, was it true that the 2021 run was cut short with FTX? And before that, the C word? Am I wrong with this? Cut short with FTX? What do you mean? How is it cut short with FTX? FTX was in the depths of the bear market. That wasn't in the bull market. So I don't get your question. I think we're in the bull run now, Mark, but I think we will have multiple bull market drawbacks, as you always do, right? But they are usually short-lasted, and they don't last long, okay? Which literally means what I just said. Short-lasted, don't last long. I repeated the same thing twice. So, yeah, that's how it works. Like, you know, maybe we run up to 102, we get a rejection, then we come back down to 96K. Okay, there's a golden pocket on Bitcoin around 96 to 97. So maybe we run up to 102, which looks like that's the play right now. And then we come back down to 96. And then we head up to 120, right? So you get little corrections, but I don't think time is on our side, guys. I really don't. There's not long left of this bull run. So you want to be ready, okay? You want to be ready. Like, we're getting closer and closer to an all-time high. Time is ticking. And like I said, guys, I'm going to be ready in the VIP, deploying some new buy alerts. All I want is a little drawdown, okay? A little dip. Nothing crazy. We've just gone like that on Bitcoin, right? All I want is that little tiny dip. And I'll buy that for the next leg up. So that's what I'm waiting for. A little tiny correction, and then I'll be dropping some mid-cap and micro-cap buy alerts. There's already 2 secret buy alerts in the VIP. One of them is a micro-cap. One of them is a mid-cap. So there's already 2 that you unlock when you join up. But I'll be releasing a lot more. If I can get a 5x with Sui and Ondo, I definitely go for the yearly membership. Great channel, great info. Thanks, Archie. Bought Sui at $1.70 and Ondo at 77 cents. Congrats, man. Appreciate the support, as always. Got almost everything from your top coin list. Missing some of them. I just have these 2 dinosaur coins, and I'm thinking for something better. I think, like, the time to sell Ethereum was a while back, right? Ethereum's probably going to have a nice run. So I wouldn't be in a rush to sell Ethereum. it is starting to do its thing. It's starting to move up. So I wouldn't be in a rush to sell Ethereum. Cardano, however, I think there's better altcoins out there than Cardano. I would probably just flip my Cardano for Sui or Casper or Tau, whichever one you like. But Ethereum will probably do a nice 2 to 3x from here, I think. If you're okay with that, then hold it. If that's not enough for you, then you probably want to flip it. It's a relatively simple decision. Thoughts on Cookie DAO? I think it's all right. But I've got a really good gain on virtuals, so I'm not in a rush to buy any other AI agent related coins because I've got the best one and I'm up a ton on it. So I'm not in a rush to buy any others, any copycats or any beta plays or anything like that. You know, I'm not saying Cookie DAO is bad, but I've got the best coin in that narrative. $2021 bull run wasn't cut short. No, it literally topped out as expected in Q4, like it has in every cycle. So I don't quite understand that question about 2021's bull run being cut short. It didn't get cut short. It ended exactly when it should have, which was Q4. I don't know. Maybe the guy's got his facts wrong. But it's all good. Some people are new, right? Some people are just figuring things out. Not everyone's spent 12 hours a day in crypto for 5 years, right? 5, 6 years. Not everyone's done that. All right, guys, I got some stuff to do. Got to get in the Discord. I got some questions to answer from my mentor members. Also got some questions to answer from my VIPs. If you do want like priority and you want to be able to reach out to me through DMs, okay, have the ability to message me directly, then get on the mentor tier. If you want that, but for life, then get on the big bundle. You get mentor tier for life. You get access to a one-to-one call with myself. You can hop on a call with me and you get access to a 3-hour extensive cryptocurrency course. I put hundreds of hours into making this, and it really is a comprehensive course on crypto and my personal strategies. It will be updated as well as new information arises. So check out all of that, guys. You know, the results speak for themselves, guys. So you can keep fading the group, keep fading the calls, but the results, they show, right? Thanks to you, I bought Sui at 74 cents. Amazing. That's a great buy. That's even lower than me. So maybe you bought it like the day after me or something. It dipped a little bit lower. But congrats, man. Congratulations. You're going to have a great bull run when Sui goes to, you know, $8, $10, whatever it is. You're going to have an amazing ROI on that. And if you want the next buy alerts, guys, get over to the VIP. I'll be dropping them in the coming weeks when we get a little retracement. And you can look forward to that. So thank you guys for watching. It's great to see the markets pump. And make sure you are subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss the next live stream. You want to be in early so you can get your questions answered. First come, first serve. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.